Did you know that 2 years after retirement, nearly 80% of NFL players are broke? For NBA players, not much better. 60% of them are as well after 5 years retired. Sports Illustrated gathered all that information in 2009, and while the years have gone on, this keeps happening. The latest is in Major League Baseball. Pitcher Livan Hernandez, who banked $53 million on the mound, filed for bankruptcy this week. So what's up here? Well, a few things. Let's dig in. $20 million to sign, $50 million to stay. How in the heck could that ever go away? There's a few reasons, but one of them is the athlete's friends and family.
They have the pressures of a lot of family members saying, hey, can I help? Or can I get a piece of that? Can I be a part of this? Look what I've done to help you get here.
It's straight up true. Just ask former NBA star Antoine Walker. He was once worth $108 million, and he went broke. At one point, he said he was paying 70 different friends and family members. Kenny Anderson, similar story, also an NBA star, once worth $60 million. He regularly threw $5,000 checks at his buddies on the weekly. And issue 2 is kind of like issue 1. It's family related, but it's a different one. Divorce. Players get divorced a lot and owe big to their ex-wives if there's no prenup. They also owe big if there's kids. Speaking of wives, Bernie Kosar, the Browns quarterback great, he owed his ex-wife $3 million when he filed his bankruptcy papers. Evander Holyfield, he had to pay child support for 11 kids. And when he didn't, the banks foreclosed on him. Another reason players go broke. Terrible financial advice and bad investments. That was the case when Chicago Bulls great Scottie Pippen lost his $120 million earnings pile. Ditto for pitcher Raleigh Fingers and his $8 million. Then there's reason 4, the big one. And it's spending. And before you make fun, players don't just spend because it's fun. It goes deeper than that. A lot of it is flat out competitive. There's
a piece of them that gets reinforced day in and day out to be the best, to continually strive to be that best person. And so it's hard to turn that switch on and off. When am I competitive and when am I not? So then when you get into the competition of wealth, it starts to be like, oh, I got to have the best luxury sedan or the best luxury SUV, the better house, the best of the best. So that just becomes a snowball effect as well with people.
That explains Mike Tyson blowing $400 million on everything from custom cars to Siberian tigers. Or Latrell Sprewell, who earned $50 million in the league, saying no to 21 more from the Timberwolves because it just wasn't enough. He went broke 3 years later. But it's that last part. Sprewell said no to the cash because he never thought about 3 years later. And that is usually when the biggest crashes happen, when the checks stop and the name is no longer in lights.
A lot of times athletes are identified as, that's who I am, that's what I'm known for, that's what I'm reinforced for. So when they have to make that transition on top of then having some financial challenges or difficulties, that can be a really psychologically difficult thing for them to handle.
Yeah, losing identity and wealth at the same time is something that causes, like you just said, that crash to happen. I get it, a lot of people are probably eye rolling, right? These people make 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 million, so who cares? They're just spoiled athletes. Well, they're not the only group of people that loses it. They're regular people. 70% of lottery winners, instant millionaires, go broke within 5 years.
That's, it's so interesting. I think it's so few people, are given the skill set to deal with what happens to you when you get that kind of money, whether it's through luck on the lottery or by talent, in a sport. I just think that unless you come from a place where you've already experienced that kind of money, I don't know how you would be able to deal with that well.
That instant wealth has that factor almost every time. There are exceptions, but here's an interesting thing about that. So inherited wealth. So let's say your parents are bajillionaires, and you're the next generation. When it transfers to you, only 12% of people in your position, so second generation, can sustain that wealth or make it grow higher.
Interesting.
It drops off precipitously. So when wealth is bestowed upon someone who doesn't earn it over time, they behave differently. Psychologically, it's just a lot to handle.
That's fascinating.
You're welcome.
I'd still be willing to win the lottery and find out.
Everybody says that, like, let me try and be the 30%.
There's lots of sports
then I'll
figures
be
out
one
there
of your
too that have
70
done
friends.
a good job. So anyway, all right.